Imagine a lone wolf under a blood-red moon, standing unyielding against the howling wind, not out of fear but because solitude sharpens his instincts. Now picture a man who walks through a crowded world, untamed, unbending, his gaze fixed on a horizon most can't even see. That's the Sigma male, a fortress of strength carved from silence and purpose. Why does he stand alone? Welcome to Sigma Male Community, where we unravel the enigma of men who choose the path of power over the pull of conformity. Today we dive into 11 unflinching reasons why Sigma males remain single, not as a flaw, but as a testament to their relentless pursuit of authenticity, mastery, and a life forged on their own terms. This isn't just a video, it's a mirror for the stoic warriors who refuse to dull their edge and a wake-up call for those who dare to understand them. The Sigma male's life is a deliberate act of creation, rooted in the stoic principles of self-mastery, resilience, and rational clarity. His solitude isn't a punishment, it's a sanctuary where he hones his mind and spirit, free from the noise of a world obsessed with shallow validation. Let's walk through the 11 reasons why he remains single, each a pillar of his unapologetic existence, illuminated by the fire of stoic wisdom and the Sigma mindset. 1. The sanctuary of silence is non-negotiable. The Sigma male's solitude is a sacred fortress, a space where his thoughts crystallize into razor-sharp clarity and his energy regenerates like a coiled spring. This isn't about dodging commitment, it's about fiercely guarding the inner sanctity that fuels his strength. To let someone into this space isn't a casual gesture. It's granting access to hallowed ground, where authenticity breathes free from the pollution of superficial chatter. Most people bring noise, empty words, predictable scripts, emotional static, that cheapens the profound quiet where his true self thrives. He refuses to trade this life-giving silence for the clamor of obligatory companionship or the draining hum of connections that lack resonance. The cost of entry is steep, a soul that vibrates at his frequency or nothing at all. Compromising this silence would mean compromising his core, and he'd rather stand as a lone sentinel than let that purity erode. His vigilance isn't arrogance, it's the bedrock of everything he is, a man who knows the power of stillness in a world addicted to distraction. This sanctuary isn't emptiness, it's a curated ecosystem of focus and renewal. Picture a warrior retreating to a mountaintop, not to escape, but to sharpen his blade and recalibrate his aim. The Sigma male builds his life in this quiet, where every decision is deliberate, every thought intentional. Most relationships feel like an invasion, a cacophony that drowns out the rhythm of his inner compass. He's not cold, he's discerning, knowing that only a rare few can enter this space without disrupting its harmony. The Stoic principle of self-control guides him here. He masters his need for connection by ensuring it aligns with his higher purpose. He doesn't fear solitude. He wields it as a tool to forge a life of unmatched clarity. The world misreads this as aloofness, but it's the opposite. It's devotion to authenticity. The Sigma male knows that diluting his silence with half-hearted bonds would dull his edge, like a blade dragged through sand. He's seen men lose themselves in relationships that demand conformity over conviction, and he refuses that fate. His silence is his strength, a crucible where resilience is tempered. He waits for someone who understands this sacred space, who doesn't demand he dismantle it but seeks to share its reverence. Until then, he guards it with the ferocity of a man who knows its worth. This choice isn't easy, it's a daily act of courage. The Sigma male could fill his life with fleeting connections, but he'd rather stand alone than betray the sanctuary that makes him whole. Stoicism teaches him to embrace what he can control: his mind, his peace, his purpose. By protecting his silence, he ensures that when he does open the gates, it's for a connection that amplifies his strength, not one that erodes it. This is the Sigma's creed. Solitude is power, and only the extraordinary earn a place within it. 2. Depth is the only currency that matters, and the world pays in pennies. Small talk is a prison for the Sigma male's mind, an insult to the vast landscape of his thoughts. He craves conversations that plunge into the abyss of existence. The fears that haunt you at dawn, the dreams that burn brighter than the stars, the scars that tell stories no one else dares to hear. He listens for the raw pulse of truth beneath polished facades, the vulnerability most hide behind rehearsed smiles. This hunger for depth makes most social circles feel like barren wastelands, where shallow banter passes for connection. He doesn't disengage out of pride but out of a soul-deep disappointment in a world that settles for puddles when he thirsts for oceans. The Sigma male's pursuit of depth is relentless, guided by the Stoic call to seek wisdom through reason and introspection. He's not interested in surface-level pleasantries. He wants to excavate the core of who you are. Most people shy away from this intensity, uncomfortable with the mirror he holds up to their guarded truths. He's not here to coddle egos. He's here to connect with souls willing to dive into the uncomfortable, beautiful chaos of realness. The tragedy is his fierce desire to connect, but only with those fluent in the language of authenticity. Until he finds someone ready to dig alongside him, the shallow end of human interaction remains a ghost town. This isn't about elitism, it's about survival. The Sigma male knows that shallow connections drain his energy, leaving him parched in a desert of meaningless words. He's felt the weight of conversations that go nowhere, the hollow ache of bonds built on convenience rather than conviction. Stoicism teaches him to guard his inner resources, to invest his attention where it yields growth. He'd rather walk alone than waste his breath on interactions that don't challenge, inspire, or reveal. His standards aren't a barrier, they're a compass, guiding him toward the rare souls who speak his language. The world may call him distant, but he's simply selective, refusing to dilute his essence in the tepid waters of casual connection. He waits for a partner who matches his depth, who doesn't flinch at the rawness of truth but leans into it. This patience is his power, a stoic embrace of what he can't control, the scarcity of those willing to venture into the deep. Until that rare connection sparks, he'll keep his solitude, knowing it's far richer than the pennies most offer in place of profound intimacy. 3. The mission is the mistress and she demands everything. The Sigma male's purpose is a roaring flame that consumes his every thought, a gravitational force that shapes his existence. Whether it's building an empire, mastering a craft, or chasing a vision others call impossible, this mission is his oxygen, his North Star. Intimacy, no matter how sweet, must bow to this unrelenting drive. He's seen men dim their fire for the soft glow of partnership, only to watch their ambition wither into regret. The Sigma refuses this fate. His mission isn't a side project, it's the pulse that keeps him alive. This devotion isn't selfish, it's a stoic alignment with his deepest values. The Sigma male knows that a life without purpose is a slow suffocation. His mission demands discipline, focus, and an almost ruthless prioritization of energy. A partner who competes with this drive, demanding time or attention without understanding, becomes a distraction, a weight that pulls him from his path. He's not against love, he's against anything that dilutes his momentum. He seeks a co-conspirator, someone whose own fire burns fiercely enough to light the way forward, not a distraction that casts shadows on his resolve. The world often misjudges this as cold ambition, but it's the opposite. It's a sacred commitment to becoming. The Sigma male has felt the sting of wasted potential in others, the quiet tragedy of dreams abandoned for comfort. He refuses to let his purpose become collateral damage. Stoicism teaches him to embrace what serves his growth and release what doesn't, no matter how tempting. A relationship that doesn't amplify his mission feels like betrayal, not of the partner but of the man he's forged himself to be. This relentless focus makes him a lighthouse in a sea of mediocrity, but it also isolates him. He waits for someone who doesn't just tolerate his drive but respects it, who sees the mission as a shared altar rather than a rival. Until that rare soul appears, he'll pour his heart into his purpose, knowing that a life of half-hearted compromise would dim the very fire that makes him extraordinary. His solitude is his crucible, where the Sigma male becomes the man he's destined to be. 4. Crowds corrupt authenticity even at heaven's gate. The Sigma male doesn't play the modern dating game, a marketplace of curated profiles, performative charm, and desperate validation. It feels like a circus, a stage where souls are traded for likes and swipes. Why should he twist himself into someone else's script or compete in a crowded arena of egos? He's walked away from perfect matches because the energy felt artificial, the connection transactional, the expectations a straitjacket. Authenticity thrives in the quiet spaces, far from the noise of societal checklists. This rejection of the crowd is pure stoicism. The Sigma male values his inner truth over external approval. He knows that true connection can't be manufactured in a frenzy of dating apps or social posturing. He's felt the weight of inauthentic interactions, the subtle pressure to conform to someone else's vision of ideal. His integrity is his armor, refusing to bend for a seat at a table he doesn't even want. He builds his life brick by solitary brick, on his terms, unswayed by the hollow promises of a gilded cage. The world may call him stubborn, but he's simply uncompromising. He's seen the cost of chasing approval, men losing their essence to fit a mold, their authenticity eroded by the need to belong. The Sigma male defines his worth internally, guided by reason and self-discipline. He'd rather stand alone with his truth intact than join the crowd and lose it. His solitude isn't a punishment, it's a declaration of sovereignty, a refusal to let the world dictate his value. He waits for a connection that feels real, untainted by the performative rituals of the dating bazaar. This patience is his strength, a stoic embrace of what he can control, his own authenticity. Until he finds someone who meets him in that raw, unfiltered space, he'll keep his distance, knowing that a life built on truth is worth more than any fleeting approval. The Sigma male is his own king and he doesn't audition for a crown. This is where the road forks. Are you the Sigma male, watching this in the quiet of your own world, nodding at the reflection of your unyielding resolve? Or are you the observer, drawn to the enigma, trying to unravel the storm beneath his calm exterior? Understand this. What you see as distance isn't a flaw, it's the space where greatness is forged. The Sigma male doesn't stumble into his power. He carves it from solitude, where the friction of truth sharpens his edge. His intensity isn't rejection, it's devotion to a purpose most can't fathom. Keep watching because the truth runs deeper than you know. 5. Past scars forged an impenetrable vault and the combination is rare. The Sigma male wasn't born guarded. He was sculpted by the jagged edges of betrayal and heartbreak. Those wounds aren't baggage, they're wisdom carved into his soul. He knows the cost of misplaced trust, the slow bleed of promises broken. Now his peace is a hard-won fortress, meticulously defended against those who might disturb it. Opening that vault demands more than attraction. It demands resilience, loyalty, and depth that proves itself over time. This guardedness is stoic wisdom in action. The Sigma male controls what he can, his vulnerability, and releases what he can't, others' intentions. He's felt the chaos of shattered trust, the aftermath of giving too much to those who didn't deserve it. His caution isn't fear, it's a fierce commitment to protecting his inner peace. He tests every potential connection not out of paranoia but clarity. He won't risk his hard-earned peace for a fleeting spark. He waits for someone who proves they can handle the weight of his shadows. The world might call him distant, but he's simply selective. He's seen the wreckage of men who rushed into vulnerability, only to lose their stability. Stoicism teaches him to value endurance over impulse, to build his inner world with intention. He's not afraid of love, he's afraid of losing the sanctuary he's crafted from his pain. A partner must earn the key to his vault, not through charm but through consistent, unyielding strength that mirrors his own. He waits for a love that doesn't flinch at his scars but illuminates them, a connection potent enough to justify the risk. Until then, his solitude is his strength, a testament to his resilience. The Sigma male's vault isn't a prison, it's a monument to his ability to rise above his past, guided by the stoic light of self-mastery. His heart remains his own, open only to those who prove worthy of its depths. 6. Power attracts parasites, not partners, and he knows the difference. The Sigma male's strength, his quiet confidence, his success, is a beacon that draws others in. But too often, it attracts those seeking to feed off his energy, not share it. He's been the unyielding pillar others lean on, the silent fixer absorbing their insecurities, until he's left drained. This one-sided dynamic is a betrayal of connection, leaving him wary but wiser. He refuses to be a source for those who offer nothing but need. This discernment is stoic clarity. The Sigma male guards his resources, knowing his power is a gift, not a public utility. He's felt the exhaustion of being used, the subtle manipulation of those drawn to his strength but unwilling to match it. His solitude is a sanctuary, a space where his energy is preserved for his mission, not siphoned by emotional parasites. He seeks a mutual haven, a partner with their own power who doesn't lean but stands. The world may call him guarded, but he's simply strategic. He's seen men crumble under the weight of one-sided relationships, their strength drained by those who only take. Stoicism teaches him to prioritize what serves his purpose and release what doesn't. A true partner doesn't admire his power from afar. They bring their own, sharing the load and amplifying the momentum. Until he finds that balance, solitude is lighter than the burden of being used. He waits for someone who sees him as an equal, not a resource. A partner whose strength mirrors his own, creating a harbor of mutual resilience. This patience is his power, a stoic refusal to settle for less than reciprocity. The Sigma male's solitude isn't isolation. It's a declaration that his energy is sacred, reserved for those who understand its worth. His strength is his own until he finds someone worthy of sharing it. 7. The fantasy is seductive. The reality is uncompromising and few want it. The Sigma male's mystique, his brooding aura, his quiet power, draws people in like moths to a flame. They crave the idea of him, the untamed hero, the enigmatic loner. But the man himself? His brutal honesty, his stretches of silence, his relentless drive, they're too much for most. They love the cover but shy away from the complex narrative within. He refuses to perform the fantasy, living his unfiltered truth instead. This authenticity is stoic integrity. The Sigma male lives by his values, not others' expectations. He's felt the disconnect of being desired for an image, not a reality. Most want the thrill of his presence without the challenge of his depth. He won't dilute himself to fit their script, knowing that a life built on pretense is a betrayal of his core. His solitude is his truth, untainted by the need to perform. The world may call him unapproachable, but he's simply real. He's seen men lose themselves trying to be what others want, their authenticity eroded by the pressure to conform. Stoicism teaches him to embrace his nature, to let go of what he can't control, others' perceptions. He'd rather be alone than loved for a mask. A true partner sees past the fantasy, embracing the man in all his complexity. He waits for someone who doesn't just admire the surface but dives into the depths, accepting his reality without trying to rewrite it. This patience is his strength, a stoic commitment to authenticity over approval. The Sigma male's solitude isn't a flaw, it's a refusal to compromise his truth. His life is his own story, and he'll share it only with someone brave enough to read every page. 8. Time is his most precious asset, and he spends it like a king, not a pauper. Every second is currency for the Sigma male, invested in his mission, his growth, his sanity. Frivolous dating, empty small talk, forced socializing, these are thefts of his most finite resource. He audits his time with ruthless precision, cutting out anything that doesn't spark growth or depth. Why waste hours on connections that drain rather than enrich? He seeks interactions that amplify his energy, not diminish it. This discipline is stoic wisdom. The Sigma male controls what he can, his time, and releases what he can't, others' expectations. He's felt the weight of wasted moments, the quiet regret of time spent on hollow pursuits. His calendar reflects his priorities, a testament to his commitment to living fully. A partner must add value to his time, making every moment richer, not poorer. Until then, he invests in himself, knowing his growth is his legacy. The world may call him selfish, but he's simply sovereign. He's seen men squander their time on relationships that offer no return, their potential diluted by distraction. Stoicism teaches him to guard his focus, to spend his days in pursuit of excellence. He'd rather be alone than let his time slip through his fingers. A true connection enhances his life, compounding his momentum rather than stalling it. He waits for someone whose presence feels like a gift, not a tax, a partner who respects his time as fiercely as he does. This patience is his power, a stoic refusal to waste his most precious asset. The Sigma male's solitude is a throne, where he rules his time with the wisdom of a king. His life is his own to build, and he'll share it only with someone who makes every second count. 9. Good enough is the enemy of extraordinary, and he declares war on mediocrity. Settling is poison to the Sigma male's soul. He feels the hollow ache of half-hearted connections, the quiet despair of relationships built on convenience. He's seen the resigned acceptance of mediocrity in others, and it's a fate worse than solitude. He demands more, passion, authenticity, shared fire, refusing to numb himself to the possibility of something extraordinary. He'd rather face the unknown alone than shackle himself to the merely good. This pursuit is stoic excellence. The Sigma male strives for what aligns with his highest self, not what's easiest. He's felt the temptation of settling, the siren call of comfort over conviction. But he knows that a life dimmed by compromise is a slow death. His standards aren't pickiness, they're a battle cry against mediocrity. A partner must match his hunger for the extraordinary, fueling his fire rather than tempering it. The world may call him unrealistic, but he's simply unrelenting. He's seen men settle for less, their dreams dulled by the weight of good enough. Stoicism teaches him to focus on what he can control. His own choices, his own standards. He'd rather be alone than live a life that feels like surrender. A true connection is a lightning strike, rare, electric, transformative, and he's willing to wait for it. He waits for a partner who shares his hunger for the extraordinary, who doesn't settle but strives. This patience is his strength, a stoic commitment to a life of meaning over ease. The Sigma male's solitude is his battlefield, a refusal to let mediocrity claim victory. His life is his own to forge, and he'll share it only with someone who fights for the same brilliance. 10. Emotional autonomy is his fortress, not his flaw. The Sigma male's strength lies in his self-contained power. He processes emotions internally, solves problems within, and masters his own inner storms. This isn't coldness, it's mastery, a stoic triumph of self-regulation. Many misread this as detachment, craving dependence, or constant reassurance. He offers fierce loyalty and deep connection, but not enmeshment. He won't perform emotional labor on demand or feed neediness. This autonomy is stoic resilience. The Sigma male controls his emotional weather, letting go of others' need for validation. He's felt the pull of those who demand his energy, the subtle guilt of not meeting their expectations. His fortress is his sanctuary, a space where he maintains clarity and strength. A partner must respect this autonomy, standing beside him as an equal, not clinging to him for stability. The world may call him unfeeling, but he's simply sovereign. He's seen men lose themselves in emotional entanglement, their strength eroded by the need to placate. Stoicism teaches him to guard his inner peace, to connect deeply without losing himself. He'd rather be alone than trapped in a dynamic that demands his surrender. A true connection is an alliance of two independent souls, not one collapsing into the other. He waits for a partner secure enough to match his autonomy, who values his fortress as much as their own. This patience is his power, a stoic refusal to compromise his self-mastery. The Sigma male's solitude is his strength, a testament to his ability to stand whole within himself. His heart is his own until he finds someone who respects its sovereignty. 11. He is the architect of his own wholeness, refusing outsourced completion. The Sigma male is complete, a truth society denies, insisting that partnership is the missing piece. He rejects this lie, building his worth, purpose, and fulfillment through solitude and struggle. His wholeness is a masterpiece, crafted with intention and resilience. He doesn't need someone to feel complete. He is complete. A relationship isn't about filling a void but sharing his abundance with an equal. This self-sufficiency is stoic wisdom. The Sigma male controls his sense of self, releasing the need for external validation. He's felt the pressure to seek completion in others, the subtle narrative that he's lacking without a partner. But he knows his value is internal, forged in the crucible of self-knowledge. A partner must mirror this wholeness, bringing their own radiance to a union of equals, not seeking to fill a gap. The world may call him arrogant, but he's simply whole. He's seen men chase relationships to escape their own emptiness, only to find deeper voids. Stoicism teaches him to build his life on his own terms, to find fulfillment within. He'd rather be alone than depend on someone else for his sense of self. A true connection is a celebration of two complete souls, not a crutch for one. He waits for a partner who recognizes his wholeness and matches it, creating a synergy of brilliance, not dependency. This patience is his power, a stoic refusal to outsource his completion. The Sigma male's solitude is his throne, where he reigns as the architect of his own life. His existence is a mountain, unyielding and complete, seeking not a crutch but an equal peak to stand beside him. This is the Sigma male's truth, a declaration of sovereignty, not a plea for pity. His solitude is his forge, where authenticity and power are crafted. He walks alone not out of lack, but out of strength, choosing his path with the clarity of a man who knows his worth. Sigma male community is your beacon, a guide for men who refuse to dull their edge, who embrace the stoic fire of self-mastery and independence. Reflect on these truths. Are you guarding your silence, chasing your mission, or building your wholeness? Take action. Apply these lessons, forge your path, and join the ranks of men who live unapologetically. If this resonated, smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this video with those who need its fire. If you're subscribed, turn on notifications to never miss the wisdom we drop here. Sigma Male Community is your arsenal for growth. Stay sharp, stay sovereign, and keep building the life you were meant to live.